My name is Nick Stygall, and I'm a Year 6 teacher at Havelock North Primary School. I work in a collaborative space and teach a total of 60 children with another teacher. This is my own work. As part of our digital and collaborative learning assignment, I had to critically reflect on my own digital and collaborative practice. We have quite a few large personalities in our shared space, and it's my observation that these personalities tend to dominate any collaborative work. In group work situations, things are often done their way because they have the loudest, most persuasive voices. This leads to a large proportion of the children in groups not having a vested interest in the work and eventually disengaging from the whole collaborative process. When I asked my class how they felt about group work, most said that they enjoyed it, but they often felt that they didn't get a fair turn or that it wasn't their ideas. This tells me that many children in my class lack the skills to effectively collaborate on group projects. I spoke to my colleagues in the collaborative space, and they agreed with this. Input from Fano via school-wide surveys has also indicated that collaborative skills and the ability to be able to work effectively with a wide range of people are highly valued by the parents in our wider school community. During week 2 of our course, we spend a while looking at the Microsoft Partners in Learning 21st Century Learning Design rubrics. Our team was given the rubric of collaboration to make a short introductory video about. It was during this exercise that I realized that a lot of the learning activities in my classroom I had thought were collaborative only displayed this quality at a very low level. Our school pedagogy is based upon inquiry-led learning, with specific student-led inquiries woven throughout the curriculum. Yet, as I considered the learning activities we've used for previous inquiries, I realized that oftentimes they involved very little real collaboration. Dillenborg said in 1999 that in cooperation, partners split the work, solve subtasks individually, and then assemble the partial results into the final output. In collaboration, partners do the work together. I realized many of the tasks my students complete around their inquiry are based on cooperation, not collaboration. According to Microsoft Partners in Learning Design rubrics, to make my learning activities more collaborative, I need to require children to do two things. One, have mutual responsibility for the outcome of the task. I realized that for many of my collaborative activities, one person had ownership of the work, and oftentimes the rest of the group were just helping. And two, be able to make substantive decisions together about the content, process, or product. Too often, children were given the topic to investigate and the type of product to create. They had choices, but these often involved surface features. This vital task of building our children's collaboration skills relates to a number of key competencies, specifically managing self, relating to others, and participating and contributing. It is this last key competency, participating and contributing, that I feel most closely relates to the skill of collaboration. In talking with our students during their learning conferences this year, we found that the inquiry-based activities that they generally enjoyed the most were the ones where they had a chance to make important decisions together about their work. In other words, students' level of participation and contribution were directly related to whether they felt their decisions shaped their final product. It was at this point that I started thinking about digital technologies that I could use to improve my children's collaboration skills with regards to our current inquiry. One option would be for me to improve my thinking around how I use the Google Drive suite of apps. There are a number of ways to allow children to collaborate at a much higher level, such as children co-creating work on multiple devices. However, as a school, we use the Google ecosystem quite heavily, and for me personally, only using Google Apps for education would not really be an innovation in my practice. Another option would be Padlet. Padlet functions as a virtual bulletin board and helps to facilitate discussions. Children can add to the board and comment on each other's posts. Padlet is well supported with a large number of tutorial videos. It is easy to export finished Padlets to our class blog, and the basic version is also free, which is good. Downsides of Padlet are that it's very much a brainstorming only tool that allows children to gather ideas collaboratively, but not to present them. A third option is Talkboard for the iPad. This allows a number of children to work together collaboratively on one virtual whiteboard to plan ideas. The app has very easy to understand pre-installed clip art, which would be very good for my learners with special needs or ESOL. The downsides of this option are that it does cost $17 per iPad, and you are also unable to import images and then annotate them, which would limit its utility. The key criteria for any technology I choose needs to be flexibility of use. For children to be able to make substantive decisions about the content, form, or product produced, the technology needs to be quite flexible in the ways it could be used. Harris, Mishra, and Kohler, 2009, have written at length on how most practitioners use new technologies to enhance their existing practice, not to transform it. This is something I will need to bear in mind when considering how I will use the new technologies. I have decided to use a combination of Padlet to allow children to collaboratively brainstorm their ideas, and also making better use of Google Apps for Education's collaborative features to help children present their work. As our classroom program is inquiry-led, I will introduce these innovations into our children's inquiry work. More specifically, I will start with our literacy program for two reasons. One, it's generally easier to make links between literacy and our upcoming inquiry topics for this year. And two, during their learning conferences, a number of children identified that literacy was one of the ideas they enjoyed working together on. When introducing new technologies into class programs, it's important to consider how they are used. Just as Google Docs can be on the substitution rung of the Samo model ladder, used as a substitute for a typewriter, or the redefinition rung, most technologies have the potential for truly collaborative work, depending on how well they're used. My collaborative innovation will be to design learning activities to ensure that children have mutual responsibility for a task and are able to make substantive decisions about the product or processes involved. Padlet and Google Apps are digital technologies that will hopefully help to facilitate collaborative work, but without the corresponding change in my pedagogy, these techniques will fail to transform how my students work. Panitz wrote in 1999 that collaborative learning is a personal philosophy, not just a classroom technique. I will design a learning activity using these parameters and give it to the children. We will see how well the children collaborate and then co-construct success criteria for collaboration. These can be tested on future products and refined if necessary.